ambassadors, please visit www.animalparknc.org/about/residents. All right, and I believe that we are set to turn it over to RoadkillRevenge with her any percent run of Spyro Reignited Year of the Dragon. Let's give it up, audience!
Hey everybody, thank you so much for having me here today. I am super excited to be showing this game off. I'm RoadkillRevenge, my pronouns are she, her, and I am excited to be, I already said that, I'm already excited. That's how excited I am. And I'm also joined by my lovely dragon expert and commentator.
Yes, hello, I am Draconair. I am also very excited to be here, and I will be commentating with RoadkillRevenge. My pronouns are he, him.
Awesome, and so with that, right before we get started, what is the result of the bid war?
That's right, this bid war had a runaway with having Spyro colored green.
We love green Spyro.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for not letting him be yellow. That's all I have to say. Okay, so let me just enter this code really quickly here. Left, down, right, up, X. Oh, no, I messed it up. Okay, let's try it again.
Does the bid war run throughout the duration of the run as well?
Oh, goodness. We couldn't possibly handle that. He's green.
Okay.
There we go, green. All right, we got Camo Spyro here today. All right, so thank you all very much for those donations to make that happen. Okay, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and be getting started here. Time is going to start right when I select Year of the Dragon here, which is the third game of the Spyro trilogy. So with that, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
I'm ready. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so right off the bat here, there's just a lot that's going to be going on. If you watch the previous one, you know what Spyro is, you know what he's like. He likes to run around and breathe fire on things and collect shinies, and in this case, eggs. So over the course of the run, I'm going to be collecting gems and 100 eggs that I'll be needing to get into the final boss. And there's a lot of different movement tech that goes into this game, but it is a lot different than the original trilogy in terms of how it works and how the sort of physics interacts. And you'll be seeing that here shortly. One thing to note too is I am playing on PC, which has some different things about it from console. But right here I'm going to be getting my first egg, Isabelle. Doing some off-camera movement. That's going to be a recurring theme here. And then I'm going to be doing something called Amy Skip. Hopefully I'll get it first try. There we go. A lot of tricks right off the bat in this game. The very first little segment is a little bit of a gauntlet, but I did it pretty well. Now we're into the first level, Sunny Villa already. So I've been doing things that are called perfect hovers as well as wall glides, and you'll be able to see a wall glide here very shortly. I'm going to be going around here in this unintended little area, doing a hover, and then just pushing myself into the geometry in a very unintended way. That actually avoids us being able to having to go like around the intended long path of that level. You're supposed to like take a really long glide. And then from here, I'm mostly going to be doing the level as intended. So if there's any quick donations, we can definitely get 1 or 2 in.
Absolutely. We've got a $25 donation from Pronzo that says, fastest furs at FWA hype. We also have a $20 donation from Oasis that says, shout out to Ollie.
Awesome. Thank you so much for those donations. And yeah, there we have Sunny Villa. A very, very quick level, and just a few little tricks there at the beginning, and then we leave. So one thing you might have noticed me do before I went up outside this level is I did a little jump around a rock rather than just taking the intended path. And that actually avoids a cutscene trigger. So I'm going to be avoiding that cutscene trigger again by just gliding out of the portal here. And I'll be doing that little rock jump again, so you'll be able to see it here. I'm just taking a little perfect hover. There we go. Pretty easy.
And earlier, Roadkill said that the runs were different, and those perfect hovers and wall glides are an example of that. I am a console runner, and console doesn't do those. I don't know if console has the ability to do those tricks, so those tricks will be pretty consistently used.
Yeah, so right there, I just did another little a quick tap into the wall, and there's one really cool skip right here. There we go. Hopefully I don't mess it up. That was actually really close, but I got it. So that was a little extended glide that lets me avoid paying money bags. A lot of this routing is avoiding money bags. And if you've ever played Spyro, you probably remember money bags. He's the capitalist bear who likes to steal our money. And so obviously we want to avoid paying him as much as possible because it means we have to collect less gems over the course of the run. So by doing that glide and coming to sort of the end of the level first, we avoid a lot of platforming and we also avoid having to pay money bags. And so now I'm basically going to be finishing off this level sort of backwards. That'll be a recurring theme in this game. Is usually faster to sort of do levels backwards if you can. So now I'm just doing this mini game here. A lot of these we're basically doing just for the eggs. Because like I said, I have to get 100 over the course of the run, and there's a lot of them. But some of them are much faster than others. This one is one that's very consistent. I'm taking an intentional bonk there, and I accidentally just pressed the swag roll button. So just if you saw that, no you didn't. And we're just chasing down this thief and then exiting the area. So now we're just finishing this up and getting one more egg here. This one's a little bit of a weird egg, Stephanie, because she, for whatever reason, doesn't like to hatch. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be jumping over this enemy's attack, running into the wall, and then triggering the Stephanie egg, which will make her hatch faster for whatever reason. So just a quick little tech there in that level. And there's Cloud Spire's done. Happy I got that glide. I messed it up when I was practicing earlier for some reason. So, okay, cool. So now we're going to be continuing our jumping tutorial. That's one thing I talked to Hunter for here earlier. He's teaching us how to jump and glide, but I already know how to do that, so we're just going to talk to him and get this egg, get some more gems. The gem routing in this game is a little bit less tight than it is in some other Spyro games. There's just a lot more larger gems available. That being said, though, we still want to make sure that our gem count is where we want it to be at different points, because we are going to be paying money bag a few times for different things, mostly to release the sort of companion characters in this game. So in Spyro 3, there's each world has a different character that gets introduced that you can play as instead of Spyro. And we're going to be paying money bags to release them. I'm going to be getting this 10 gem. I normally don't. It just felt right. So there's a lot of optional sort of things you can do to customize the route and get specific gems you want and that sort of thing. Okay, so one thing you might have noticed there is I was doing a little bit more off-camera movement, and that is because every time you pick up an egg in this game, it locks your camera to like watch the little cute little dragon animation that happens. And whenever you try to move out of it, it takes a while to like move the camera back to Spyro normally, and in doing that, the movement out of those can be really awkward. So if I do weird little circles coming out of it, and you'll probably see it a little bit more clearly here in a minute, that's why. And right there, I was doing a jump outside of that egg so that I could hit that enemy and cross that lava platform without him hitting me. Because if he does hit you, he sort of hits you like directly down into the lava, and that is no bueno. So we're gonna go down here and get Bruce, and then head into the water level, which this level is really cool because it has the only out-of-bounds skip that is in this run. It's a really cool one.
May I edge in for a second?
Yeah, absolutely.
Would love to give a big shout out and thanks to Kelchin Ferret for gifting 10 Tier 1 subs here inside the Twitch chat, and we would like to let you know that all revenue from Twitch subscriptions and cheered bits received during the weekend's event will be donated to the Animal Park. So please consider subscribing now to get your fastest first emotes featuring the always adorable PB the Cheetah, and don't forget to see if you have your free Twitch Prime Gaming sub available too. Thank you so much, Kelchin.
Awesome, thank you so much for that. So what I'm doing here is I'm essentially letting this enemy squish me on purpose, and I actually missed it there. We'll see if I get it again. There we go. So that's actually a pretty nifty little skip that allows us to get out of bounds and go into the Sheila level early. So yeah, you might notice I'm no longer playing as Spyro. I am now playing as a kangaroo named Sheila. Basically, this is that companion character I was talking about that you unlock. But in being able to get out of bounds, we can actually get into her little optional side level without having unlocked her yet. So it just lets us do that earlier and save quite a bit of time. Okay, so now we're just going through this minigame. I'm going to be getting a safety fodder here. Not super necessary. I didn't get it, but whatever. So never mind. But we have a minute or so here if you want to get a couple more donations in.
Definitely. We have a $50 donation from Ian Keith that says, let's start this event off right. Rock on, everyone. We also have a $25 donation from Anonymous saying, so proud of Shock, Blaze, and all of the Fastest Furs crew for pulling this together and putting it on. Good luck on the marathon and on all the runs. And I want to give a shout out to chat, which just finished a level 3 hype train here in the chat. Thank you so much for all of your support here online.
Let's go. Woo! Awesome. Thanks again for those amazing donations. And I'm going to be heading now into another egg little side area here, which is Bluto. This is one of the only like real RNG parts of the run other than the bosses that we'll see in a moment. And I actually got bad RNG, so that's fine. It's really just the same. It's just a little bit slower, so I'm just going to be collecting these boxes and cutting him off here. The reason I'm not shooting him yet is because I want to make sure he gets in the right part of his cycle, because if you don't, it messes things up majorly. So hopefully things are going to go okay here. Basically, we can just wail on him. Hopefully. Okay, cool. And it is set such that we can, if we get just those boxes specifically, we have the exact number of torpedoes to kill him +1. So it was just right. Okay, so now I'm going to be heading into the tunnel here. This is just a very straightforward thing. One fun fact about these tunnels is that for whatever reason, the in-game timer, so if you go to like your guidebook, it tells you like how long you played the game. For whatever reason, it doesn't count in these tunnels. So that's a weird, random fun fact about it. But it's pretty straightforward. We just have to make sure we hit all of these Rhinox in the tunnel and not do something foolish. Did I do it without doing something foolish? I did. Okay, cool. I've been known to do silly things in that tunnel.
Those tunnels are pretty difficult, and I tend to have trouble myself.
Yeah,
just playing casually.
I remember as a kid, like, that tunnel was, like, harder than any boss in the game. Like, it was so hard. Okay, and that was Sunny Shore. And now we are going to be headed to, one of the behated parts of this run for me, which is the Speedway. You saw probably a couple Speedways in the previous Spyro run. And in this specific route for this category, we actually only have to do one Speedway, and it is this very first one here. So I'm going to be going over here, getting some gems, and then I'm actually doing this Speedway just as intended. It's funny to me because Sparks is like, here's the intended route. You can do something faster if you want, but all the speedrunners basically just do it the intended way because it's like marginally, it's just way easier than doing other routes. So I'm just going to be going these in the intended order. So yeah, this would be another great time for setting donations.
Absolutely. So we've got a $10 donation from Ronwa that says, save the animals. Love that always. And of course, relevant as we're raising money for the animal park. When making a donation, don't forget to assign your funds to an incentive or a bid war. The option will be visible while filling in your donation, and it helps to make the marathon the best that it could be. To see a list of all incentives and bid wars for the entire marathon, as well as their current status, you could also use the command !incentives in chat. We've got a bid war going on for this upcoming game for Pokemon Puzzle League to choose your starter Pokemon. We've got Pikachu, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle up for grabs, and we are $75 of the way to a $500 goal for Kirby and the Forgotten Land Ultimate Cup Z Showcase. Let's make it happen, chat.
Awesome, thank you so much. And I got through that Speedway without too much trouble. The butterflies there at the end can be a pain, but I managed to get them okay. Now, these enemies are really annoying, so I'm going to be focusing for just a moment. See if I can get the cycle. Oh no. UFOs, come on, behave. Okay, it wasn't too bad. I didn't die, so it's fine.
That was good. That was pretty good. That was a good recovery.
Yeah, so they were on a pretty set timer there, but controlling that that vehicle is really, really annoying because it just doesn't like behave the way you would expect it to. But now what I'm doing is I'm essentially fast traveling back to Cloud Spires and immediately leaving the level. The reason that I'm doing that is because it actually just puts me closer to the next level that I need to unlock. And because I'm running on PC and using a PC route, even though I'm not currently using a loadless timer, that does save time, technically. So it's just a habit. So now I'm just going to be turning here, going right back to the beginning of the level, and here we go. This is definitely a character we've never seen before at this point. Anyway, so now we unlock Sheila's Alp, and we go straight into the level. And this level is very, very linear. It's basically just controlling Sheila and trying to get her through and it's sort of an escort quest. These goats are like trying to get home or something. But sometimes these Rhinox will spawn in very weird places and make things really uncomfortable to get through. But luckily that one wasn't stuck on anything, but there's still a couple more that could be problems. I'm going to be cutting that corner with a little double jump. You're supposed to use Sheila's like big bounce jump in order to get through those, but you can make most of them pretty readily. Now I am going to be getting fodder here and trying to get back up to gold sparks, because gold sparks essentially is just being at full health. Because I'm going to be attempting to do some damage abuse strats in the first boss here, Buzz, in order to make it a little bit faster. And Buzz is my enemy, but we will see him in just a moment. Okay, so now I'm just going to be killing Rhinox and destroying their homes for whatever reason. I guess they're sort of setting up camp outside these goats' houses or something. I'm not really sure how they managed to set up these houses this quickly, but here they are, but now they're not. And they were actually in pretty good locations because I was set up here to be able to just get these gems. I'm actually over-gemmed, which is way better than being under-gemmed. So yeah, we're sitting in a pretty good place right now. I did forget to get that last fodder, but that's fine. We'll just sit at blue sparks. Okay, so I'm just exiting level here, and once I do that, because I finished all of the levels in this world, they're going to teleport me to the end of the world where I can get in the vehicle to travel to the boss. In this game, you do have to complete each and every world, just because this little teleporter won't, or this transport won't unlock until you do. Okay, I made sure to wait a moment before I did that menuing, because if you do that too fast, it's actually possible to make it to where you can't skip this cutscene, which is really annoying. So you have to slow down in the menu in order to go fast, but it is what it is. Hopefully I didn't do it too fast. Okay, we're good. We're good. I know you all are very excited to see all the deep lore of the Spyro franchise, but alas, we are here to go fast. Okay, so here's Buzz, my behated. I am simply going to be charging him. He has 3 different cycles here, and we can make them faster by doing some funky little movement here. So I'm going to be standing on the edge, letting him circle around, and then jumping out over the lava, and that will have him go directly to sort of the end point of his cycle. There's some weirdness with this because the camera being pointed at him means your movement is very strange, and sometimes Sheila will like get in the way and block him and make him like directly run into you. I took damage there on purpose. That was that intended damage abuse I was mentioning earlier, to make it go faster. See, there we go. He bumped into Sheila, but luckily she didn't cause too much trouble this time. I'm actually going to be taking this cycle a little bit safe, just because I really don't want to die to Buzz today. It's happened a lot of times, and I'm over this. I am done with my dying to Buzz era. Okay, so here's his last cycle. He's going to throw a fire here, and I'm actually going to run this way a little bit, because if you don't do that, the hitbox of his fire can still hit you. So we're just gonna do that. And that fodder just really wanted me to get it, I guess, but I don't really need it, and you'll see why in a moment. And there's Buzz.
Easy.
Easy Buzz. I'm so glad. So the problem with Buzz is that if he hits you while you're like trying to fly over the lava, he will just like basketball dribble you into the lava and just instantly murder you. So I've had it happen a lot of times. Okay, now we are heading to the second world, Midday Gardens, which is probably my favorite, but I don't know. There's so many good levels in Spyro, it is super hard for me to pick favorites. Do you have a favorite?
No, not off the top of my head. I guess I also haven't played 2 and 3 in a long time, so my favorite is probably Treetops, just because I like doing all the supercharge stuff, which we saw in the last run. All of the supercharging in that level is super interesting, and all the secrets they have.
Yeah, totally. I like the big open like level design there.
Yeah, and then in the Reignited Spyro one, there's fun tricks with the supercharging as well. So those are all cool.
Yeah, totally. So what I did there was I did a weird glide there. It might have looked like I was just goofing around, but I was actually avoiding another one of those cutscene triggers. And this is one of my favorite levels because of just how much weird like geometry there is in it. But it's also very easy to like bump into stuff and die. So I'm going to be taking it like weirdly safe, and just doing a little hop here. And I'm going to be doing, oh, I missed that 5 gem, but no big deal. I'm going to be getting Gladys, and I'm actually going to be quitting out. There's 2 reasons to do this, and it's because it puts us right next to this trick jump I'm going to have to do. And it also refills my sparks, which normally you'll be at like green or, oh my gosh, you'll be at like green or no sparks at that point. So it's really useful to be able to quit out and just refill it. Okay, so let's see if I get this jump. This is called a charge jump. I got it first try. Sweet.
Nice.
I struggle with those charge jumps. So there's a difference between charging and jumping and a charge jump in this game, as confusingly named as they are. But basically what I did there was I did a jump in a certain way, like right off of the end of the charge, in order to preserve the forward momentum of the charge into the jump. And so I can get maximum height and maximum forward momentum by doing those jumps. So by doing that and doing a little wiggle at the top of the height, you can go to places you're not supposed to go, as it turns out. You'll be noticing me doing that wiggle a lot. It's a really great way to preserve your your height. And also, we're in the skateboard level, which is, you know, Tony Hawk Spyro Skater 3 is what we're actually playing right now.
Can I just say that I'm really excited that the skateboard level is part of the run?
Oh, yeah.
I'm really glad that it's in the route.
It's a large part of why I picked up the speed game, was because this level is in it. Yeah, so we're basically just doing this tutorial about, and we're just going to casually do like a 900 real quick. It's fine. And at the end of this, we're going to be getting some eggs, but I'm going to be taking some shortcuts here to do things a little unintended, just to make it a little faster. And so this next egg is really funny because Hunter is like challenging you to like a time trial basically to get the most points. But if you do this and then, well, you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then let me land, and then give up. If you do a really amazing trick and then give up, he just gives you the egg anyway for whatever reason. So it makes it really fast.
I'm wondering, is that does Hunter have a set score that he gets to, so you just get above that score and then end it immediately?
I think so. I don't even know if he has a chance to score by the time you land that trick. I've never really paid attention. So once again, we're gliding over that cutscene trigger, getting Mingus, which is probably one of my favorite
That's a good name.
dragon egg names, and heading into Icy Peak. This is a bit of a tricky level. Right off the bat here, I'm going to be attempting to do another damage abuse, where I flame this thing here and explode that. You're normally supposed to use turrets to destroy these, but you can also use these little TNT things. I'm going to be taking some jumps here. Can I get the swag stairs? Okay, I got the swag stairs. I'm happy. And next up is a skip called Maynard Skip, which requires using the turret up here in a bit of an unintended way that you'll see. But first, I'm going to be just getting some gems, setting some stuff up for here in a minute. I'm going to be pressing 2 buttons at once on my controller to make that spin faster, which is cool. We're going to be taking some unintended paths here using our wiggles and our perfect hovers. Oh no! I missed the thing. I actually did not need to go back for that. That was just gems that I was missing. I'm just so used to having the gems up there that I was like, something is wrong. I have to fix it. Okay. Can we get up there, please? 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 Where? There, okay, first try.
Spyro being difficult for some reason.
That was awkward. Anyway, we got this egg. That was what I really needed over there. But those gems just felt like the run was going to be cursed if I didn't go back for them. So I did.
Validation gems.
Okay, now we're going to attempt Maynard Skip here. I'm going to be using this turret and got it first try.
Easy.
Okay, cool. That's the actual hard part. That other stuff I was doing was just goofiness. So okay, so now we're just going to be finishing up the level and getting some egg thieves, which are butt heads, as you will see here in a moment. But luckily, I'm going to take this damage abuse again, finish out the level, and then run into the side area to chase some egg thieves. Is what you're supposed to do anyway. But conveniently, so normally you're supposed to chase the yellow egg thief, and then the red egg thief jumps down, and he's like harder. But you can actually just get the red one first, and he does not move, which is great. And the second egg actually he will not run backwards, so you can come and get him from this angle, and he won't turn around. Hopefully I don't miss him. Okay, cool. Glad I got those. And that's Icy Peak. That was actually, other than that weird cannon mistake, that was a pretty decent Icy Peak.
That was good. I didn't know that the red one just was still like
Yup, he
damageable.
just
Like he
stands
still
there.
is in the engine.
Yup. Okay, so third time I'm jumping over that cutscene trigger and heading to our next companion character level, which is Sergeant Bird. And I don't know if y'all knew this, but penguins can fly in the Spyro universe. As it turns out, I guess his military training gives him an advantage. But we're going to be paying 700 gems here to Moneybags to release Sergeant Bird and head straight into his level. Now, Sergeant Bird controls very, very differently than Spyro. He's very like inertia-based, which can be a pain to get him to sort of do what you want him to do, especially because his attacks are not, you don't have the flame anymore, but we do have rockets, which, you know, that's cool. So we're going to be attempting to get those to go where we want them to go, but sometimes they just fly off and do their own thing, as you're probably about to see. So I'm going to quickly try and beat an NPC here. We're going to press this button and then head over here and get at least this 10 gem. Hopefully this 5 too. There we go. You can actually do that fast enough. You can get there before the hummingbird gets to her post, and you can just get the first part of this puzzle like early. So I'm just going to be, whoop, rude, rude, rude. Don't mind me. Just going to be grabbing these. Okay, there we go. And now we have to kill some very specific enemies here, and that's because this is another sort of escort quest level where we're supposed to be defeating certain enemies to like open up the path for the NPC. So we don't have to do a very large portion of the level. Okay, and we're out. Another egg obtained. Okay, and now the next level is Spooky Swamp, which is a really fast level, but it's one I really like. I don't know, the vibes in that level are just really cool. The like fireflies that only speak in haikus is very cute.
I forgot about this level.
Yeah.
This might be my favorite level in this game.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I attempted to do a pause there to do a fly-in skip, but I'm just going to be doing it the easier way, which is just to quit out. The reason that you do that is because for whatever reason in this level, when you first load in, it just sits at like a black screen and Spyro doesn't move for like a long time. And so quitting out and reloading is actually faster than just waiting on it. Okay, hopefully I don't mess this up today. Okay, we got it. Okay, that was just a little shortcut, not a fancy skip, but it does save time. So we're going to do it. Gonna grab the egg here. Some other weird camera movement to try and make sure I'm going where I want to go and don't accidentally turn around. And then now we're at the level. Turns out you can sort of swim in that water if you just do it fast. And hope the piranhas don't get you. It's my defense strategy.
I was wondering why you didn't get hurt, and I thought the piranhas always got you.
No, they actually like move. They behave very strangely. Okay, and there's Frank, and then we leave. Gotta make sure not to hit quit level, because when you're menuing, the last option you selected in the menu is going to be the default next time, so you have to keep that in mind when you're figuring out what you're doing next. Okay, and next up is actually a really fun. This is a trick that is actually very easy to do casually if you want to. If you're playing the game and you just want to do something goofy, because it looks cool. So I'm going to be getting this power up to shoot these urns. And once you shoot all 4 of these urns, you get an egg. So I'm going to be getting those 2. I'm not going to be shooting that one. Getting some gems on the way. Shooting this one. Getting up next to this egg. And then carefully aiming. Getting this egg. And then it's going to teleport me to get the other egg. And so there's get 2 of them basically at once. And it teleports me directly to Bamboo Terrace, which is where I need to go next. Okay, so now I'm going to be attempting a bit of a tricky wall glide here, so I might be focused for just a moment. Oh. Come on, Spyro. Come on, get up there, buddy.
Got it?
Yay!
Nice.
Okay.
You made that look easy.
It's a very weird wall glide because it's sort of in 2 parts. You have to sort of do the initial wall glide to get into the corner, go up on the corner, and then hover and turn your camera so that you can glide up some different invisible geometry. But yes, once again, we are going to the end of the level first here. And now I'm going to be doing another weird trick to make this egg thief easy. Oh no. Oh,
you
I
got him.
almost messed it up. I was so scared. Cool. So yeah, and again, we can sort of trick him to start moving and then get where he's going before he does, and just makes it to where we don't have to run around and chase him. And then we're going to be just collecting the last 2 eggs over here, which is Madison and Dwight. I could probably just list all of the dragon eggs by name at this point. I've played it enough. I'm going to be doing the camera a little carefully here because I have accidentally just like jumped off into the abyss before, and I don't want to do that today. So there we go. And that is actually the end of Mid-Egg Ardents. It's a pretty fast world.
Nice. We're doing another Atlas teleport rather than just leaving the level to take us to the...
Yeah, so earlier I left the level in order to do it and let them teleport me. This time I didn't do that because if you do, they will put you inside that cutscene trigger that I already skipped 3 times.
Ah.
So, yeah, so you have to make sure you use the guidebook there or else it will do the cutscene. Yep. It's a shame to skip a cutscene 3 times only to, you know...
to get sucked in anyway.
Yeah. And I made sure to get those gems there on the side of that room because they are all very, very high value gems. And now we're into the second boss, Spike, which is a little bit RNG based, and I got like the best possible RNG with where that rock spawned. It's really just the first phase where it matters, and it's not that big of a difference, but it can be annoying if they spawn like as far away from you as possible. But I got really, really lucky there, actually. And now we're just waiting on Sergeant Bird to drop some rocks and finish this fight. So if there's some more donations or announcements, now would be a wonderful time.
Absolutely. So I'd love to shout out a $12 donation from Radicoon that says better smiley face. And with that donation, we are at $800.
Woo!
And folks, if you are just tuning in now, we are watching Fastest Spurs live at FWA 2023, and we're raising money for FWA's chosen charity, Animal Park at the Conservators Center. Animal Park is a non-profit independent zoological park located in Burlington, North Carolina, whose mission is to educate people, care for animals, and advocate for species. They've been in operation for 24 years supporting wildlife education and conservation. And to learn more about their mission and programs, please visit www.animalparknc.org and click !donate in chat to get that donate link.
Awesome, thank you so much for that. So earlier I attempted a little trick called Early Whirly, which is fun just because it's called Early Whirly. I didn't quite get it, but it does let you get into this little thing called the Whirly Gig faster if you get it. And yes, Spike went pretty well, and here's hoping that is the last time we see him. I'll explain what I mean by that while it becomes relevant, but there's a chance we get to see our boy Spike once more. But for now, we do actually talk to Bianca now. Hi, Bianca. Bye, Bianca. We've skipped talking to her a couple times, and thus far, no one has figured out how to skip talking to Bianca there, so we just talked to her.
Yeah, it looked like the getting out of the whirly put you right into the cutscene trigger.
Yep,
so.
it does. So now we have Frozen Altars, which is a bit of a weird level because now we have an Ice Breath. So I'm going to be baiting these enemies to be close to each other and using them to get around this thing that I'm supposed to be melting. Grabbing a whole bunch of gems and taking this in a very weird order. I'm going to be setting this up so that I don't miss it because it's annoying to miss, but we got it. And heading over here to Cecil. And now I'm going to be doing another wall glide here in order to skip a huge part of this level. But it's sort of easy to mess up, and if so, I have to do like most of the level again. So let me just focus on this. There we go. All right, there's Jasper Skip. A little bit trickier than it looks. You have to make sure you don't push too hard into that wall or else you will fall. So, but we got it. And that is Frozen Altars. That was actually a really good Frozen Altars for me. So, for some reason, this level tends to be the one that I rage quit on, and I don't know why.
Well, you did spectacular this time. That was
well,
very well done.
All right, so now we're about to get another one of my favorite eggs, which is in a very sneaky location. One of the reasons he's my favorite egg is because the first time I was like running this game, I forgot him completely. With 100 eggs, it's easy to forget 1 or 2 when you're learning the routes. And so now I always remember him. And that would be Stubby.
Stubby
acquired. Oh my gosh, what is my camera doing? Okay, I missed the 10 gem, but it should be fine. I'm pretty ahead on gems. Get that one to make it up and head into Fireworks Factory. This is actually like a really popular level. And the next egg I'm going to be getting is like everyone's favorite egg. If you've ever seen this run.
I don't know. Stubby's pretty good.
I'm a
Stubby's
Stubby
up there.
fan. I root for the underdog Stubby. So we're just going to go over here and grab our boy. Oh my god, take damage first. Noodles.
Oh, Noodles is up there. Oh, dang. That's a tough fight.
I know. There's so many good ones.
Stewie, Pee-wee, and Noodles.
Yeah.
The ultimate battle royale.
So now I'm just going to be going through the level, and the next trick we have coming up is called Sam Skip, which is a really interesting one. I'm essentially going to be damage boosting off of a bomb in order to get up on this ledge that you're normally supposed to go a really long ways and do like this first-person minigame to get to. But first I picked up a rocket that you're supposed to use to kill those enemies, but I'm going to be using it here and coming back to it later. And now I'm going to be attempting Sam Skip, so if I could get some hype for this, that would be awesome.
Let's get some Stoobies in the chat.
Some Stoobies in the chat. Oh no, that looks so good. That was so close. Okay, let's try again. Okay. Third try. Come on. Come on. Come on. I'm going too far back. Hold on. Let's try. This is an easier setup if he starts walking forward.
Oh, very close. Okay, I see what
on.
you're trying to do now.
There we go. Okay,
Nice.
we got it. Jeez Louise, that was a bit rough, but we got it, so I'm happy. Anything is better than going through that little section as intended, so I will take it. All right, so now we are finished with Fireworks Factory. And using our guidebook to go back to Evening Lake, because that's going to put us next to this other egg. So this egg is inside this whale. And we just call him the jank whale because if you just go into the whale and then like do it as intended, sometimes the whale will just like glitch. I don't know why the whale has teeth, don't ask me. So we grab Jonah, we quit out, and we reload because that prevents him from getting stuck, because whenever he's supposed to like spit you out and do this whole animation, and by quitting out we just avoid that. Because sometimes when he's doing that animation, it will just like get stuck and just not spit you out, and it's annoying. So we avoid it. And now into Charmed Ridge, which is probably the hardest individual level in this run, in my opinion. So I might be a little bit quieter for this, but we're going to see how it goes. Okay, so I didn't bonk off the fairy. I've been doing that lately, which is awkward. So this level's filled with all these wizards that do all kinds of things to make our lives pain. So I'm going to be sort of going around them and destroying specific ones, jumping over this, and then doing a wall glide to do this, and this avoids paying money bags, which we love to see. Okay, got that wall glide pretty well. Hovering here to get around that fireball, grabbing Mo, again doing things all kinds of out of order here, going through this backwards. I am going to be doing a slight safety strat here. I'm going to be keeping my flame over here, and then before I grab this egg Benjamin, I'm just going to be killing some of those enemies, just so that they don't bug me here in a moment. Okay, getting more gems. We're doing pretty okay on our gem count, I believe. Okay, now I'm on a timer, so I'm going to be focusing, seeing if I can do this fast enough. I got it. Okay. So what I was doing there was I was attempting to get both of those wizards while I still had the fireball power up. And by doing that, it means we get to avoid some platforming here in a moment. So now I'm going to be going through here, getting some more gems, and going through another behated minigame of mine, mushrooms. So it's really just platforming, but it's just annoying. So now would be a pretty good time for donations while I focus on just getting through this as quickly as possible.
Absolutely. And actually, speaking of, Fastest Spurs live at FWA would not be possible without the technical support and knowledge sharing we receive from our friends over at Midwest Speedfest. Make sure to give them a follow at twitch.tv/Midwest Speedfest if you're watching right now, so you can check out their marathons and events in the future. And if you live in the Minneapolis, Minnesota area, you can also attend many of their events in person. And as we're proving this weekend, there's nothing quite like an in-person speedrunning event. Let's hear it, audience.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. And while you were speaking, I did what is called mushroom jump, which is something that just cuts a corner pretty fast and is just very hard for me for some reason, and I got it first try, so I am super stoked about that. I was hoping for third try, so... Awesome, and now I just go to the end of the level here. I actually really love the lore in this level. I find it super adorable, because there's like this war between the fairies and the cat wizards, because they kidnapped the princess or whatever, but it turns out that she was just wanting to run away with her cat boy boyfriend, so, you know, now they peel out on their motorcycle and live happily ever after. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Okay, so next up is Lost Fleet, which is another one of those sort of escort style levels, and it has probably one of the harder mini games in it because even though it is cycle based, so it's very easy and very consistent if you're really good at it. It's very hard to control the vehicle again, and so aiming it and getting it very easily is a pain. I'm fully prepared to just messing it up. I'm fully prepared to just mess it up and just do it casually because I'm very bad at it. But first, I'm going to be doing a little wall glide here. Oh my god, if this crab would get out of my way. Oh my gosh. Come on. There. Come on. Come on, Spyro, you can do it, buddy. There we go. Thank you, buddy. Oh no!
Oh no!
Now I have to do
It was such a cool trick that you just had to show it again.
Y'all want to see it again, right? There we go. Okay,
Perfect.
cool. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to be going up here and using this turret to break down this wall because it's part of the levels escort thingy. Hopefully I didn't miss it. Taking an unintended path here to get to another fun egg, which is a dragon named Chad. We love to see it. For some reason in this level, all of the eggs are just like normal dude names, which is just very funny. Whoops. Okay, now we're into subs, which is that level I was talking about. And I'm going to be controlling this submarine and trying to just destroy other submarines. And hopefully, we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
All the vehicles in this game are pretty difficult to control.
Yeah. So we're going to be aiming here, and hopefully I'll get 2 of them here. And I got literally neither of them. I love that for me. Love that for me. Let me get... Okay, yeah, we're just going to be sort of cleaning them up casually. I was just mispositioned there for that first one. Because part of the problem with this is that everything moves like on a delay and on a weird cycles. Oh my gosh, this is bad. Subs! Classic subs moment. Okay. So now I'm just cleaning them up here, so now would be another good time for donations, because right after this, we're just going to finish the level.
Sounds great. And actually, we have raised $800 already, and it's not even 2 hours into this event. The final run for each day at Fastest Furs Live at FWA is a bonus run that you can unlock with your donations to Animal Park. If we reach 2,000 by the end of today, Cody7737 will run Metroid Prime any %. And if we reach 5,000 by the end of Saturday, Mr. Chow Time will run Stray any % glitchless. We want to show you these amazing speedruns, and you want to see them. So make sure to make a donation to Animal Park if you're able, and to help us get these runs added to the schedule. Let's get it going, chat!
Woo!
Awesome. Thank you so much. So yeah, there was Lost Fleet. That was a painful subs, but we got through it. We got through it together, and that's what matters.
Yeah, the sub's always an issue. Even in that minigame, there's the green circles that light up as you aim at a sub, and if you let them all get red at home, the missiles will home in on them. And even using that, sometimes it just doesn't work.
Yeah, sometimes it just says, no, I don't want to. Okay, so now we're just going to be doing some more platforming and skipping talking to some NPCs while I go over here and grab Stuart. And then we're actually really good on gems. I'm going to just be getting this 110 gem. Because now that we are at 1,000, I actually do not need any more gems for the rest of the run. Because the gems that we're going to be picking up on accident, basically, will give us everything we need. Okay, so I'm going to be attempting this jump here to get to this egg. There we go,
nice.
Got it. That's a very, very tight jump where you sort of have to go around the corner there. And then I'm going to be heading into Bentley, which is another very, very cycle-based level. But we love Bentley. He's just a nice lad. So, yeah, so now we're going to be controlling Bentley, which just like all the other character-based levels, it's just going to be very different than controlling Spyro. He can't move very fast, but he's got a big stick he can whack stuff with, which is helpful in its own way. So I'm going to be trying to get my little brother Bartholomew over to the end of the level, and just waiting on him to catch up. There are a few little tricks here, like we're going to see here in just a moment. Just going to be waiting on him, using his little deflect ability as intended, and then while this cutscene is happening, I'm going to talk to Bart here, which will just give me my movement back early, which will just let me hop onto this thing just like a tiny bit faster, but it's basically free. Okay, and I did not get the fast cycle, which is unfortunate. It's a little bit tight to get, but, you know, we still go for it. So I'm just going to be doing these little reflections to try and take out these seals, which are very angry for some reason. I don't know what Bart did to these seals, but it was probably... I sort of feel like he deserves it. I don't know about
He
you.
seems like a little bit of a hooligan.
Look at him. Look at him. He is a hooligan. I have no evidence to support this. I just have a feeling.
He's got that kind of energy.
Yeah, he's got little brother energy for sure. Okay, so now we got to push these boxes. You can sort of take them at an angle. Oh my gosh, you can sort of take them at an angle to do it faster. That definitely would have been faster to do the normal way, but oh, egg, please. You do have to be very, very careful and not try and block Bart's path, because if you do, sometimes he'll just get stuck. Like, he'll get stuck between the boxes. He will do all kinds of weird stuff. So I'm just gonna like give him plenty of room to jump on these boxes at his own pace. All right, and coming up after this is sort of a pretty important part of the run, which is Scorch, which is the third boss of the game. And this boss has a trick in the boss that is either going to save me a minute or and a half or so, or like 2 minutes, or it's not. So I'm going to be trying for it, and we're going to see how it goes. So just to briefly describe it ahead of time, what I'm essentially going to be doing is taking one of the rocket power-ups that get given to you in this run, or in this fight, and taking it out of the fight. And by doing that, I'm going to be manipulating, I'm also going to be manipulating the fight to go faster and trying to manipulate Bentley in order to give me the right power-ups at the right time. So there's a lot going on here to think about. Luckily, there is a backup if I mess it up, but we're going to be going for it today. Okay, so here we are in Scorch's arena. And here we go. So the start of this fight is RNG driven. We either have to deal with eggs, or that was actually some of the better RNG, but now it's a little bit different than typical. I really need Bentley to throw me a red. Okay, that's fine. It's not what I asked for, bud. He's just giving us whatever he wants, I guess. We got 3 greens in a row. I've definitely had like up to 8 in a row before he gives me what I need, so... Oh, what is that, 4?
Well, let's
4
see
greens?
We're going to see a new record of green missiles.
Oh, and I missed that one. Oh, that is just awesome. That's why you want the reds, because they're way easier. There we go. There's a red. Okay. Now I should be able to juggle him here, if I don't mess it up. Okay, good. We got the good RNG saved me from my mistake, so that's good. So now we're going to be leaving reds on the field to try and manipulate him to throw a green once the fight is almost over. And then I'm going to be killing the boss on the frame where Bentley is about to throw a green rocket. And that will allow me to pick up the rocket before I'm forced to leave the fight. And if I do that, I get to keep it permanently, basically, until I teleport. Okay, hold on. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so we're going to be trying for it. So if I could get some hype, that would be awesome.
Let's do it.
Okay, I'm gonna take it on. I'm gonna try it again. I didn't have a good vision on Bentley, so I wanted to make sure I could see what he was doing. So we're just gonna take it on one more cycle here. I think I got it. Hold on. Remains to be seen. I got it. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice. Expertly done.
Oh gosh. That is very exciting. So essentially what this does is it allows me to just have green rocket breath as much as I want. And I'm going to be using that in order to get a specific egg thief. And by getting it from like a distance where you're not supposed to be able to get him, it's going to teleport me to the end of the level and avoid paying Moneybags 800 gems, I believe. So it's a really important trick for this run. I'm so excited that I got it.
So to clarify, is that permanent? Now every time you use Fire Breath, it will be the rocket?
Nope. It lasts until I teleport in any way.
Okay.
So it's why so until I get that trick, I want to make sure that I do not fast travel. I do not do anything that's going to cause me to teleport. But just to show you what it looks like, now I can just shoot rockets. So there you go.
So it's indefinite asterisk.
Yeah, it's indefinite until. So I'm going to be getting this egg here that I have forgotten before. And if you missed, oh gosh, that would have been bad. If you miss it, you actually can go back into Spike, the boss that we saw earlier, and get a similar trick from him using one of those green or those purple rocks. And it's way easier to do, but it loses time because you have to do the boss twice. So.
And that's what you meant by hopefully not seeing him again.
Yes.
I see.
So there we go. There's that egg thief, and it teleported me over here, so I no longer have the rocket breath, but it put me over here at the end of the level, so I don't have to pay money back to 800 gems. So now I'm going to be going over here to this little side area with a slide. The slides are slow, but luckily this is a really fun trick. I can just slide off on purpose, and oh, I might have messed it up. Oh no, I hyped it up and then I messed it up. Well, if I didn't bonk, basically there you can glide until you you reach the top of that little light post, and you can jump off of it and just go straight to the end. I still got it faster than doing it casually, but you know, it's a fun one. Okay, so we got the end of level egg, and now I'm going to be going and getting the last 2 eggs in this level. Which is mostly intended. I'm going to be just flying over here, getting the egg, and then taking a setup for this, because there's a lot of invisible geometry in this game, like stuff that's very easy to accidentally bump into. So I'm just going to be lining this up carefully, doing a jump and going really around that tree, because it's very easy to accidentally bump into it. Okay, there we go. There's Crystal Island. All right, and coming up is probably one of the most notoriously difficult to learn tricks in this run, and it is called Torch Jump. So once again, I'm going to be trying to get to the end of the level first and sort of do it backwards. And to do that, I'm going to be doing a very precise, perfect hover in order to land on this like pixel that is on this torch here. So I'm going to be focusing for this, and hopefully I'll get it in a couple tries, but we'll see. Okay, I'm going to be lining up very, very carefully. Okay, first try, no bueno. Oh, almost got
very
it.
close.
That was pain. There we go, third try.
There you go.
Oh no, there we go. Okay, here we go.
Nice.
Panic. Okay, cool. And I have to be very, very careful menuing when talking to these dudes, because it's if you just spam the button to like get through it, like that, like I just literally was talking about it and I just did it. They'll click the wrong option for their riddle. Okay, so now we're doing this minigame called Tanks. This has 2 different phases, and for the second phase I am going to be swapping to keyboard and mouse. So it might get a little bit wobbly on screen, so apologies in advance about that. So we're just going to be going ahead and jumping through that. And the reason I'm swapping to keyboard and mouse is just because it's a little bit easier to aim, allegedly. Okay, there we go. Going to be shooting this guy from a distance and then moving, and that should get a guy that's hiding around a corner, if I did it right. It looks like I did. So I'm going to be going and just cleaning up these dudes. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Again, manipulating their AI a little bit to make them move into the turret is what I'm doing here. So again, shooting to the left side. It does look like I missed somebody. Who did I miss? This guy. There we go. All right, not the cleanest tanks too, but we got it. Okay. Okay, and Haunted Tomb is a very interesting level. It's a pretty tricky one casually. I think the enemies are like very mean, but luckily in any percent we can sort of go around a good portion of it, and that was really close. I almost hit the slide again. We got cursed slides this run, I guess, but it's all good. Got Malcolm, and then one last egg here before we leave. Oh, tried to jump over him. It's a little bit hard to jump over that enemy, but it's not a huge time loss if you do. Okay. And we are actually in the last world of the game, so we just have a couple more levels before the final boss. We've got a lot of stuff to clean up until then, though. 15 more eggs. So now I'm going to be just going over here and just grabbing this egg. Just basically intended. Going to be doing a little head bash, a little next to where you're supposed to do it.
That didn't look right.
Yeah, trust me. Trust me on that one. And then it did Dino Mines, which is probably one of the funnest themes of all the levels. It's like, well, what if Western Dinosaurs. I don't know. I love it.
Sometimes with the level themes, feel like the devs had like animal and then like popular
Yeah.
media time period on a dartboard,
Okay.
and it worked out.
So I was attempting a jump there that skips a little portion of the level. It's pretty tricky though. I'm gonna see if I can get it second try, and if I don't, I'm just gonna go as intended. It's a very weird jump to get, but we
Nice,
got it second
that
try.
was tight.
May I edge in with a little announcement?
Perfect time.
Folks, we have hit $1,000 donated this weekend. And one of the donations that sent us over the edge was a $200 donation from Cat Trinket saying, "Glad to catch Roadie live. Also neat to see fursuiters in the background. I went to my first con a couple of months ago, and seeing a fursuit in person for the first time was pure magic. Good luck with Spyro." Thank you so much, Cat Trinket.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank
thanks
you.
a ton. I actually relate to that a lot. This is my first con, and seeing all the suitors is very fun.
Awesome. So there's Dino Mines handled. The enemies have a very weird pattern there, and it's very easy to accidentally get hurt. I'm glad that I didn't though, even though it took me second try on that jump, but it's whatever. We made it, and that's what matters.
It looked like first try to me.
Yeah.
But the other one was practice. That
Yeah,
was just
yeah,
practice.
yeah. Okay, so now here's another egg thief that I'm going to be doing some weird movement to try and sort of cut him off and trick their AI a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to be running into Desert Ruins, which this level is actually a level we're going to be seeing twice. Once very, very quickly, but for now we're going to be going through most of the level and then coming back and finishing it right before the end. Okay, so this level has lots of acid, lots of enemies, but it's mostly consistently avoidable if you know what's up. So I'm just going to be gliding on this sort of, going around all these enemies that are on a very set cycle, taking some intended damage here to boost up here. And then, oh my gosh, did I? Ooh, that was close. I thought I messed that up.
The movement of that was clean. That was very well.
I'm glad you thought so.
It looked like it. But I don't run this game, so anything you do will be impressive.
Awesome. And now we have a little 2D side scroller, which is a thing in this game for some reason. I don't know if it's like a Crash Bandicoot reference or what, but yeah, this one's pretty straightforward. Another Sheila level here.
Oh, it might be with all the bouncing
Huh?
that Sheila can do.
Yeah. Yeah, so the bouncing is weird. I mean, because, like, each bounce, it's as, like, a speedrunner, like, Sheila is so, like, tense to, like, play because, like, every bounce feels like a second, you know? So if you have to, like, take an extra step, it's like, oh, God, time. I'm taking time, like, making sure I try to kill most of these enemies, and also trying to make sure that I don't accidentally do Sheila's like big super jump that I was using on her level earlier, because it's very slow compared to just sort of going forward. So sometimes I'll do like a little turnaround in an awkward place, and that's just because to sort of reset her movement so she doesn't do that big super jump. All right, but we got to the end, and now we get one more egg, and there's another level we get to go see again. And that would be Molten Crater. Just a couple more nefarious egg thieves. And unfortunately, these egg thieves, basically, you just have to do them as intended, and they are just annoying. So we're going to see how well I do. They are a pain. But we're going to pay moneybags for a final time. Goodbye, moneybags. And here we go. So this first egg thief is the yellow. They typically progress in these little side areas from like yellow egg thief, red egg thief, and they just get harder. This one's basically just the set cycle. I just have to follow him and cut the corners well, and I should be able to get him at the other side of this rock. There we go. This next one, though, is where it gets really annoying, because now we have the supercharge, and you can cut corners with the supercharge, but sometimes you will, like, lap him on accident, and that is no bueno. So I'm going to be... I did not mean to bonk, so I'm probably going to be taking it on a second cycle. Once more with feeling. We like to go fast anyway, right? So there we go. I lost a little bit of my momentum. So this is not a very good red egg thief, but We're just going to sort of do it as intended now because... Oh, are you kidding me? See, this is why he is a nightmare.
That looked pretty unlucky.
Yeah, it is not fair. You jerk. Okay. Get me out of here.
It is lucky that he stayed up there.
Yeah.
You can go back and get him again.
Yeah. Okay, so very quickly, we do this now because now we have Sergeant Bird unlocked, so I can just run over here and grab Luna very quickly and then head back to Desert Ruins. And this end of level skip is another one that that means you don't have to pay money bags in order to get to the end of the level. But it's a little bit tighter, so let me just focus on this a little bit. Okay. There's a lot of different setups for this. Mine is a little weird, but it's the only one I can do, so... There we go.
There we go.
All right, so basically what I was doing there was just doing a very, very good perfect hover and sort of using the edge of that ledge to sort of guide me up there. Okay, there we go. And so now we are about to head into the final boss. We almost collected all the eggs we need. We just have one more, assuming I didn't miss one, which would be tragic. But we got Stubby, so...
We did get Stubby. Stubby and Noodles,
yes.
the two most important baby dragons.
There we go. We're at 99. And the final dragon here, Billy. Now, hopefully I don't fall off. Okay. That whirlwind, for whatever reason, is like placed off the side of the platform, and it's very easy to just to have it just like not pick you up for some reason. You can just walk through it if you're not being very, very careful about what direction you leave after getting Billy. All right, so now let's kick some sorceress butt. This is another 3-cycle fight. This is another vehicle-based boss. And just like before, controlling the vehicles is a little bit awkward. And each one of the cycles has its own sort of quirks about how to do it quickly. But also, yeah, there's a monkey here. Don't worry about it. We definitely know who he is and have definitely seen him before at this point. I don't know how he got here, but he's helping us, so whatever. This is unless you're playing Spyro 120% or just playing it casually, we never ever see that character. Oh my gosh, she is right in my face.
Wow, she really squared up
on
you.
What is she doing?
Oh my goodness.
Why? Ma'am! Please, mind your business. Okay. Please. Okay, thank goodness. So the first cycle is with the turret, and you basically just have to get 2 hits on her, and then it instantly goes into the second cycle. You cannot get more hits on her with the turret, even if you actually hit her with the turret. But this next cycle is the easy one, hopefully. It's going to drop the tank any minute now. There we go. Oh, just going to let that hit me so that I don't get knocked out of the turret. So I'm going to be getting close to her. And you can manipulate her into doing this little hit here and just repeatedly hit her with the tank. So that cycle is very easy. I am going to make sure and get the fodder, because if I am at green sparks in this fight, Agent 9 will only shoot down fodder. So you have to heal up or he will never give you the vehicle you need to actually win, which is unfortunate. So right now I'm just waiting on him to drop the final vehicle, which is the UFO. I'm going to be using the D-pad for this. I haven't really talked about that too much. But the D-pad just lets you be a little bit more precise. Most of the game I play with the analog stick, but that's really just down to preference. There's some tricks, though, that you just can't do it with anything other than the D-pad, in my opinion. So we're just going to be circling around. And time is going to be when I get the final hit on her here in just a moment, assuming I can aim. Ma'am. Okay, one more hit. And time. Okay. All right, so we did it. We saved the Dragon Realms once again. So thank you all so much for supporting me during this run and for donating for that bid war incentive to make him green and make him really hard to see against the grass, actually. I was surprised how I kept like
camouflage skin.
Yeah, so just to give a couple shout-outs, thank you all again so much for having me and letting me do this run. Thanks to the Lady Arcaders community, which has supported me on my speedrunning journey, the Fastest First community, and the Spyro Reignited community, which has been really wonderful to me as I learn this game. So, yeah.
Yep. Thanks for having me as a commentator. You did a really great job. Awesome run. I was a little quiet for most of it. I'm not usually a commentator. I think you did a wonderful job explaining and playing through the game. It was very good.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Well, you both did an absolutely fantastic job. Let's give it up one more time for Roadkill Revenge and her amazing Spyro Reignited Year of the Dragon Any% run. Great job.